I think that's why the universe chose us to be together.
The movie The Connection is a film shot locally and being released in theaters early next year. And we're honored to have director Nicholas Naylor and lead actress Laura Stettman with us here today. Thank you guys for joining us.
We appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
So first off, for those who are just joining us, what is this film all about?
Good question. So the film is about two strangers that are on very different paths in life, and they have an event happen to them that binds them together, right? So supernatural, sci-fi, whatever you want to call it. So now they're bound together emotionally and mentally, and it's kind of their journey together, developing their kind of abilities and their passion for each other now, and kind of not wanting that to happen. So it's very interesting to see two people that have nothing in common kind of thrown together and locked together.
Absolutely. Yeah. So where did the inspiration for this come along?
Yeah, so I've done multiple films here in Florida. We were coming up with script ideas and kind of going over stuff, and I have multiple different ideas on kind of the side burner, and we were just kind of talking about like what would the cheesiest superpowers in the world be. Sure. And I hate to say that, but that's what it came from, and then we divulged this whole script from it, and this whole idea, and the whole production came from that.
Absolutely. Now, Laura, tell us a little bit about the characters that you played.
Oh, so I play the lead Vera, and she's this girl that's kind of gone through like the ringer with relationships, with life, being abused, being used, bad relationships, and basically she meets Foster and realizes that she's connected to him, and she realizes that she wants to like see kind of where this goes, and then when she gets the powers, she feels like, oh, it's the universe that gave us these powers, like we're supposed to do this together, and she can go a little crazy with that.
Definitely a contrast.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what's it been like kind of, you guys being able to work on an independent film right here in Tampa Bay, here locally? What's that experience been like?
Well, I personally love working in Florida in general. I think it's a beautiful state. I think it's underrated film-wise.
Hey,
we're trying to bring more incentive here to get bigger productions here. So I love it. I love living here. I love making films here. I've done stuff in other states, and it just always feels better to do it here.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Now, as far as this storyline goes, everyone loves good superheroes and all that kind of supernatural. For those who, are kind of new to this kind of thing, what would you tell for those viewers to come check out the movie?
I'm gonna let her answer that.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not like Superman powers, you know? It's like,
exactly.
It's just different. Because basically their powers have to do more with, it's almost like telepathy, kind of, like they feel each other's thoughts and feelings, and whatever, like whenever she's angry, he's angry, and whenever he's calm, then she becomes calm. So it's kind of like there's always like one, whatever one feels, the other one feels as well. So it starts with that. So if Vera gets a little bit more strong with the powers, then Foster will in turn get strong with the powers too. But he's just constantly trying to like bring her down.
Very nice.
So essentially the powers, they start out with just being able to, can I say it?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So essentially it's just making people fall asleep.
Sure.
Basically just think like 11 on Stranger Things, but but falling asleep. That's really all they can do. And then it just morphs into something bigger than that.
Sure.
So yeah.
Very nice. So what's it like being able to take the movie from post-production and distributing it pretty much everywhere? What's that process like?
So that's a rough process. So this is my fourth feature that I've had the pleasure of making, and starting from concept and idea and being hired with a script to shot listing and bringing that to life, and then going to crew, and then filming, and then editing, and then coloring, and then sound, and we go to LA and we finish all that sound and stuff out there, and we can bring it back here, and going back and forth, and it's a huge undergoing and process that unless you make a film, it's really hard to explain like how tedious and how much you have to love it to finish.
And how many moving parts. I mean, we're just talking about that. Literally, like you were saying, there is so much that goes into these independent films that a lot of people don't give credit for.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that filmmaking in general. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we average 15 to 30 crew members a day on set. So if you can imagine just running that crew, and then food, and then actors, and then cameras and equipment, and it's a huge endeavor.
I bet it is. Well, the movie The Connection comes out early next year, is that right?
Yep, January.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem.